What's up, everyone? Welcome to Prop Drop. I'm your host, Sean Koerner, aka the Oddsmaker, and I'm taking a break from my Saturday projections process to drop a few official props I've found so far. But before we get started, just a reminder that in case you missed it, I extended my streak to 16 straight wins after that Pats Jets game Thursday night. And the only way to guarantee you're among the first to know every time I place a bet is to subscribe to Action Pro. Right now, we've got a special offer for new Pro subscribers. Head over to actionnetwork.com/pro and use the promo code PERFECT for $20 off the annual sub price. Action Pro subscribers get instant notifications every time I make a bet and also get access to all of my player prop projections for every NFL game every single week. Once again, that's $20 off an annual subscription at actionnetwork.com/pro with the promo code PERFECT. Well, like I was saying last week, week one was pretty brutal for me. It's always one of my least favorite weeks to project since we don't really have anything to go off of. Week two is always much better, having at least one game to go off of. You typically see the market over or underreact to that one game sample size. And sure enough, I went 14-0 last week. Because I won the Monday Night Football prop on in week one and opened up this week with my Thursday Night Football prop win on week three, we are up to 16 straight bets. So, we are, it's going to be a tough act to follow, but I'm going to try to do my best to have another winning week. And for my first prop, we're just going to start it with a bang here. We're going to this Eagles Saints game. And this is going to be in the longest reception prop market. Pretty much every site has the same number for this guy, but the best odds are at FanDuel right now. And some of you see my hat. You know where I'm going with this. This guy rarely lets me down. And that's Rashid Shaheed of the Saints to have his longest reception over 22.5 yards against the Eagles. You can get it at -118 at FanDuel right now. And this is just always the perfect market to invest in Shaheed's upside. And I think we're getting quite a bit of value at this number. He's cleared this in both games so far with catches of 59 and 70 yards. Certainly, he's not going to be able to keep that level of efficiency up. But this is a market where he essentially breaks my model. It's almost impossible to really set a number low enough for him. So I think books are being way too cautious with the 22.5 here. There's just a ton of factors going in his favor. First, this new offense under Clint Kubiak has been excellent. They use a lot more motion, play action, and that really sets up perfectly for Shaheed. And second, Shaheed's playing time has seen an uptick this year. He ran a route on 94% of Derek Carr's dropbacks last week, and he's typically running deep routes. According to Next Gen Stats, he ran a deep route on 33% of his routes. So that means we don't really have to, hope that on the occasional deep route he does run, Derek Carr targets him and, connects for a deep ball. He's typically running a deep route, so we just need Carr to target him a few times, and the odds say that he'll catch at least one of them. In fact, Shaheed leads the Saints after 2 weeks with a 27% first read rate, according to Fantasy Points data. So Carr's looking for him right off the rip over a quarter of the time. So I just love his upside in this market, especially against this Eagles defense that has been giving up big plays in the passing game. So like I said, this is really hard to project. I would put his median closer to 29.5 and show him with about a 61% chance of clearing 22.5. So again, very exciting over there. That's going to be very fun to root for. For my next one, it's going to be an underplay. And we're going to the Chargers Steelers matchup that really gross, should be a low scoring game. And this is going to be in the receptions prop market. I'm going to be going with a Steeler wide receiver here. And if you haven't guessed it quite yet, and the odds are pretty much the same at every book. So just go to your favorite book for this prop. But I'm going with George Pickens of the Steelers under 3.5 receptions. You can get it at -120 right now at DraftKings. But like I mentioned, this Steelers-Chargers game should be really ugly. It's going to be a run-heavy, low-scoring matchup, especially if Justin Herbert is ruled out or if he plays through his high ankle sprain. Either way, I expect the Chargers to have a very run-heavy game plan. That's really been their identity under new offensive coordinator Greg Roman anyway, but it's definitely going to be the case if Herbert's limited. And the reason I bring that up is the Steelers ranked 5th in time of possession so far this year, but a run-heavy Chargers game plan is going to really lower their overall play volume. So I just don't think the Steelers are going to get off as many plays as usual in this game, which is going to lower counting stats like a reception prop. Plus, if you look at Justin Fields' completion prop right now, it's at 14.5, which I'm completely in line with. So he's not going to complete many passes. And this is a matchup where Fields could struggle as a passer as well. He has the 6th lowest success rate when throwing at zone coverage this season, and the Chargers have used zone coverage at the 2nd highest rate. So this is going to be a really tough spot for Fields to get going. I expect them to lean on Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, even Justin Fields with his legs. So this is a prop where I'm always hesitant to kind of fade Pickens in the receiving yard market. He could easily clear his receiving yard prop with 2 or 3 catches, but I think the safest way to fade him is the reception market. He tends to see a lot of downfield, low percentage targets anyway. So I'm projecting him closer to 3.1 receptions with about a 61% chance he stays under 3.5 receptions here. And for my third and final prop, we're going to this 49ers Rams matchup. This is going to be a rushing yards prop. And this is a prop that's pretty much the same number, price at any given book. So again, if you have your favorite book, just go there. It's probably going to be the same odds you can get elsewhere. But I'm going with a Rams running back under. I always hate doing this because Sean McVay is very untrustworthy. You can never know what the hell he's going to do next. But I'm gonna attack a Rams rushing prop, and I'm going with Kyren Williams under 67.5 rushing yards. You can get this at -115 right now over at DraftKings. And look, he's struggled over the first 2 weeks, averaging just 2.5 yards a carry. And yes, part of the blame can be placed on the offensive line, as his expected yards per carry, according to Next Gen Stats, has just been 3.5 yards a rush. So he's not really getting much running lanes, and he's not really doing much with it anyway. He's struggled to break tackles this year. He's only avoided tackles at an 11% clip this year, which is 52nd out of 57 running backs so far in 2024. And this is going to be a tough spot for him to bounce back in that department, as the 49ers are a top 5 team in terms of tackling efficiency. So I don't see him breaking many tackles here. It's going to be tough sledding for him as well, because typically he faced lighter boxes. He's only faced a stacked box 13% of his rush attempts this year. But without Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp, I think the Niners could stack the box here at a higher rate, just kind of focusing on slowing down Kyren Williams, because they don't have as many elite pass catchers running routes right now. So I think the Rams, they might try to stick with the run early, but I don't see Kyren being that efficient. And then if they get behind, they're going to have to abandon the run. And when it comes to the Niners do a great job of just really milking the clock, really lowering the overall play volume of their opponent. So that's also at play here. Plus, like I mentioned before, I never know what Sean McVay is going to do. I'm assuming Kyren Williams will be the workhorse back this game, will be the workhorse back the entire game. However, there's a chance he does lean on very talented rookie Blake Corum a bit more in this matchup, like we saw in garbage time last week. So we always have that out when it comes to taking, Kyren's rushing prop to go under. So I'm projecting him closer to 59.5 with around a 60% chance to, stay under 67.5. But I think there's more factors that's really just going to make this more closer to a floor game for Kyren. So I love this prop as well. All right, that's going to do it for week 3's edition of Prop Drop. Thanks for joining me. Going to get back to updating my projections and see if I can keep the streak going. But be sure to follow me in our action app. Remember, you can find me at _oddsmaker. I'll be posting several more props there throughout the day, so be sure to check that out and get that before the lines move. Best of luck to all your week 3 bets. We will see you again right here next week.